Do it over and over and over and
Yeah,
over.
we
and
should
over
script
again.
this show.
You want to write it? You go ahead and write this show, Steve. You want to script out the show?
Yes. All of my lines would be like, "Hello, I'm Steve. I'm very smart. Everything I say is smart." And then Ryan says,
"Oh, I'm just a big dum-dum. I'm Ryan. I don't know how to do anything. All my opinions are bad." Hey everyone, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast.
And this is the episode where we change everything. We try something so radically new that it is certain to change the show.
We want to get your feedback on this. A lot of people in the comments, I mean, a lot. Like, this has got to be across the episodes. There are
across 9 years of episoding.
Yeah, all of these different years of episodes. Probably the most common comments are complaint. Sure. The guy on the right doesn't know what he's talking about. The guy on the left doesn't know what he's talking about. The guy on the right or the left won't let the guy on the right or the left finish a sentence.
Right. We're constantly interrupting each other because Steve and I are friends, and that's how we talk to each other. The podcast was born out of Steve and I having real conversations with each other where we talk over each other and then constantly interrupt and interject our ideas because we're so excited that we even have thoughts in our head and we can't wait to share them. So we're going to try really, really hard in this episode to not interrupt each other.
And then next episode will be normal.
I don't think we can maintain it. We've actually already restarted this episode because it felt so super weird and we were like really stressed out by the concept. So we'll see where it goes. The big question, the big topic for this episode though, is, does JHS pedals deserve fanboys? Or does it deserve fan men? That's the real question.
What about the fan women?
Fan women? I interrupted. Fan women? Is that interrupting or is that like harmonizing?
That's harmonizing.
That's conversational harmonizing. It's not interrupting. It's conversational harmonizing. Come on. This is music related. So anyways, we already talked about this the first take, so maybe we can do it more succinctly.
Probably not.
JHS released a pedal. I did one of the few demos, and before my demo even published, the dang thing sold all the way out. They made 700 of these, and they all sold out in 7 minutes. Before Josh's video was even over, they all sold out, and there's as there always are on the internet, people are complaining and interjecting their opinions on to what JHS should do in the future and why they should never do this sort of thing again and why it's so bad and it's so awful because the people who wanted one obviously didn't get one and the people who didn't think anyone should get some are angry that anyone bought them in the first place. So what do we think about all that, Steve?
First of all, I do want to say I saw your email exchange and the reason that they were all sold out before your video launched is because you forgot to upload the video. So it is kind of your fault, but also they basically, my understanding is JHS, they launched the premiere, the premiere of the video, and before the video was over, they were sold out.
Yeah.
So maybe if you did not launch your video to compete with their video, you still would have been hosed.
What I should have done is I should have broken embargo and published an hour before and then never been hired again by any company because they'd be like, oh, Ryan, the guy who broke embargo for JHS? Yeah, no one can trust that guy.
Apparently all you needed to do was break embargo by 7 minutes.
That's all it takes. No, but they wouldn't have been for sale when I launched it. That's actually not a bad idea. If something is limited, have everyone publish their videos before and see how quick it can sell out. Well, everyone will be sitting there on the website waiting to break the website. But at least everyone will get forewarning. Like the people who are really excited about it can sit there and be like, okay, but also the people who operate like ordering bots or whatever will be able to set up shop and be ready to snatch those sweet, sweet, sweet flippable boosts.
So a couple.
Then apparently everyone is flipping for thousands and thousands. I interrupted you. I'm so sorry.
So a couple of things. One, the question of fanboys. It's are fanboys and collectors different? I think that's one question I have, because we, in our first take we talked about sneakerheads, and I think the difference is sneakerheads, there is a fanboy factor to it, but it's also like a high collectability factor.
Right.
There's a little bit of a Pokemon factor to it, right?
Gotta catch them all.
But I think to me the biggest difference between like fanboydom and like a collector is how rabid you are. But also the other thing I would say is, there are JHS fanboys for sure. And of course. I've heard I've never been in it.
There's fanboys for all sorts of brands. Every brand you can think of has people who are overly, irresponsibly enthusiastic about the brand.
I've not been in it for very long. I was in it long enough to get someone's wife to yell at them. The JHS Pedals official, unofficial Facebook group, whatever it is. I have heard that people in there can be very defensive of the brand. So maybe JHS legitimately does have fanboys in the sense of like irrational fanboys. But what I'll say is this pedal would have sold out probably because of fanboys. But the fact that also before Josh's video was over, these pedals were already listed on Reverb for resale. Those aren't fanboys. Those are
flippers.
Assholes.
Those are assholes. There you go. Yeah, like if you're buying it and immediately relisting it, and one of those listings was Josh being silly. One of them was Josh. The one that was like for $5,000 was Josh being silly because he knew they were all gone, and he was making a point. He likes to troll Reverb. Believe it or not, Josh has troll energy inside of him. The Josh I know, anyways. But yeah, excuse me. If you like sit and snag anything that is going to be limited and you are immediately listing it for resale before you even get it, you're totally an asshole. Like you didn't even try it and you're like, I'm buying that to flip it. Like you're a problem. Like there's nothing anyone can do to stop you. Like there's nothing, no one can stop you from doing that, but at least have some class and be kind of cool about it, I guess. Like wait until you get it. Like you don't know how long it's going to take them to ship it to you. Like you're going to be sitting there on a Reverb order for $5,000. And, the person who paid for that, that person shouldn't exist. And that's really the toxic, like fanboy that we really need to be preaching against. If you didn't get one, you didn't get one. Don't pay. Like wait until someone sells them at the normal price. If you really, really want one, don't pay $500. Don't pay $400. Like $300, I kind of get, I guess, but there's so many treble boosters out there. And I think Josh Scott would say the same thing. Oh, try all these other treble boosters and then wait for one of these to be reasonably priced. Like, don't encourage the scalpers by uppaying, because they do it because they know someone out there is going to uppay.
Yeah, I think every brand has fanboys and the defensive thing. I think there's also something societally going on that I can't put my finger on, that in our current state, people are really rabid for things, and not just like pedals, but also what Taylor Swift tickets sold out in like 2 minutes.
There's a weird like, oh, I'm sorry. You can go ahead and hit me later.
Death Cab, their first. So I guess Death Cab for Cutie is releasing tickets in waves. So it's like the first group fan group, the second fan group, but they're all limited. Which Taylor Swift did the same thing. I know. Suzanne was in like the first group, right? And so there's
Suzanne's
I don't know.
my Zoomer sister,
right? So there's like 5,000 or whatever tickets per venue that are for those people, and they're all selling out. Death Cab went in 15 minutes. My wife and I were talking about maybe trying to go see Death Cab at the Hollywood Bowl. I didn't even know tickets were going on sale. They're for next September. You have to buy them now apparently, which is wild. Like, I'm probably not even going to be alive in 9 months. Let's be honest.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Is there something you need to tell us, Steve?
I just don't feel very healthy lately.
Well, that's the holidays.
Yeah. But I mean, it feels like it's something that's in everything where people are just running out and like, they got to try all the things. They got to get all the things, or they got to flip all the things.
There's a bit of like an emergency hoarding vibe in the air lately, like a emergency acquisition anxiety. And like on the other side of it, like Black Friday, from what I understand, was mostly a bust for retailers this year. Like everyone just kind of stayed home and did Cyber Monday or whatever. Like there's, I was seeing videos of pallets and pallets of merchandise sitting in Walmarts that no one came and bought, sort of stuff. But there's another thing that's like, people aren't just going to, people are being very specific. They're not just going to Walmart or Best Buy or whatever. Like, I've got to get the cheap big screen, blah, blah, blah. They're like, here's something I deeply care about. Here's something that fits my specific personal interest. And I am going to fight bloody tooth and nail to get it. It's not going to get away from me. And for some people, it's a flip. Some people, it's like, oh, the last time JHS did a boost, it sold out. This one will sell out too. And then I'm going to be able to score that sweet, sweet flip. I think that the flip, like, potential of these things is greatly exaggerated. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I think, if you want this, you want this. I think it's a cool pedal. I'd never messed around with a treble booster before. I had fun with it. I'm going to do some experiments with it in the future. But I don't think anyone should be stressing out and getting angry over missing it, getting angry over other people buying it. Like there was someone in the live chat of the video that I published of this, like, oh, no one should buy this, blah, blah, blah. And the whole time I'm like, you can't buy it. No one can buy it. They're sold out. No one should buy it though. Yeah, no one can. Like, right. Where does this anxiety come from? Where does this angst come from where you feel like there's the one side of the fanboy energy is like, I've got to have it. It's an emergency. I got to have it. This video's like barely started and I got to get it right now or we won't be able to get it. And the other side of like, why would anyone get it? Why is anyone buying this? Like the normal people are in the middle and we're just like, oh, that's interesting. They put something out. Oh, it's sold out already. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. People on the extremes, like, relax.
In this video that we're making right now, later we're going to look at some Craigslist ads and reverb ads and whatever, and we're going to say whether or not we think something is worth something, and we're probably going to say no, it's not worth this, and if you buy it, you're dumb. But if you want to buy it, that's on you. Like, I'll think it's a bad buy or a good buy for you, but I don't really care what you do with your money. And I kind of agree. Like, I don't know what, I don't get the germanium thing. Like, I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know what's unique about this that makes it a $250 treble boost. Like I just don't know.
It's like limited stock of the thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
I have heard people say that the OC71, that you have to do a lot of testing to make sure that you get ones that actually work. But again, I don't know. I'm not a pedal builder.
I can't tell you why it's priced the way it was priced, but I can tell you it sold out in 7 minutes. So it probably was priced too low. If JHS wants to prevent scalpers and immediate sellouts, they just need to start raising prices on pedals that launch $100 more each time until they find that limit. People didn't buy a boost that was $400. I guess that's the limit. I guess we'll lower the price now
to $399.
Is that what you guys want? Do you want them to keep raising the price until people don't buy them and then you can buy them? Or do you want them to release them at a somewhat normal price and just people who want them buy them until they're gone? Like there's other pedals, guys. It's not an emergency. None of this stuff is life and death. And everyone getting upset on either side of the argument spectrum is,
look, Ryan, you see this
being
pedal?
Silly. Yeah, I see that pedal.
Okay.
I do see that pedal.
I turn the volume all the way up. I turn the gain down. I turn the tone all the way up. It's going to boost a lot of treble.
Someone commented like, "Oh, you can just buy yourself a 10-band EQ and do what this does." And I have it's over there if you want to grab it, the DOD 10-band EQ or 7-band or whatever it is. I did a little personal side-by-side experimenting.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, kind of, but not really.
No, there is something, from what I understand, there's something unique that a treble booster, you know, treble booster is like the classic. It's the Queen sound.
Well, it's
the Brian May thing.
It's called treble booster, so you think it does that, if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that from there, but I've boosted like the last couple all the way up. You think it does that, but what I found out comparing it to this is that really it does that. It's actually mids. It's actually like a sharp mid booster, but this doesn't have the grit, and it actually doesn't have anywhere near the output of this. Like this has grit and it has output, and the frequencies are a little bit different. That I got fairly close EQ wise by boosting, what was it, the 800 and a little bit of 1600, and then just taking everything all the way out and boosting up the level. But yeah, not the same output, not the same grit at all. So if you are actually chasing the treble booster sound, it's more complicated. It's more specific than just turning up the treble on an EQ pedal. Maybe you can get close with various overdrive pedals and you just boost the treble. You can probably have similar functionality, but is it the exact same? I don't know. I haven't tested every pedal in the world against it, so whatever.
Are you considering that challenge?
No. I don't want to spend my life like pursuing that specific goal. It's not my dream to test every pedal in the world against that particular boost to figure out which pedal is a, excuse me, a 1-for-1 replacement that somehow, is cheaper. Like, oh, good news, guys. I found one that costs $150. Now you can buy the $150 one instead of the $250 one, which you can't even buy right now anymore because they're totally sold out.
In 7 minutes.
In 7 minutes. Okay, let's talk about something else.
All right, let's do some housekeeping. Housekeeping is a part of the show where we thank those folks who support us on Patreon, including these two new people. At the $1 level, we have Pedestrian. And at the $5 level, we have Josh.
You know what I know about pedestrians?
What do you know about pedestrians?
They have the right of way.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
This episode is also brought to you by Chase Plus Audio. We flashed this up here a few times. I think, was the Mood a pedal for them that sold out immediately in the...
Oh, probably.
Like first batch?
Oh, the fanboys were all over it and made everyone upset, right? I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sure you could get it now or you can't. If you can't, then go follow Chase Bliss on all their social media, get on their email list and stuff like that. So you're on top of whatever they put out, whenever they put it out. Chase Bliss makes some really cool, exciting stuff that's honestly kind of probably underpriced because there's an incredible amount of engineering that goes into every single Chase Bliss pedal. You talk to anyone that is in the pedal industry, and I haven't heard a single one say like anything negative about their business model because they are packing these things full of tech. And there's no other pedal company doing what Chase Bliss does. I'll just say that. They are unique. And they charge what they need to charge because that's what that sort of design warrants. It really does.
This episode is also brought to you by Big Ear Pedals,
That's
maker
right.
of the Woodcutter. It's a great, simple, straight ahead, just like it should be, rat style pedal.
Now, Steve, is that your woodcutter or is that my woodcutter?
This is your woodcutter.
That's right, Steve. Get your own damn woodcutter.
My woodcutter is actually a Big Ear NYC woodcutter.
Oh, I see. You got an OG. Mine is a Nashville era woodcutter. If you buy a woodcutter now, it's going to be an Ohio era woodcutter.
Yeah.
Something to think about. They're going all over the world. Stay tuned. Maybe someday there will be international woodcutters.
Head on over to bigearpedals.com, get on their socials, see when those batches are coming out. All right, let's do an ad.
All right, finally. What I've been waiting for all night, Steve.
This ad was sent by Damian Michael. This ad says double cut guitar with 2 P90s, splendid blue color with an old school tremolo, great price, wonderful starting instrument. It's listed for $250 and it is made by LS Custom Shop.
I don't think that's who it's made by, but I can certainly almost guarantee you that underneath that sticker that says LS Custom Shop, it says Gibson.
Oh, you think it actually says
I think it does, and I don't think it's because it was made by Gibson. Clearly, this is an import knockoff. This is some sort of AliExpress situation. Otherwise, they wouldn't be selling it for $250 because it looks like a very nice Gibson Les Paul double cut junior sort of thing here with 2 P90s. It's got a knockoff Bigsby on it. But it's got this blue flamey burst thing going on and binding on every edge that could possibly have binding. So if this was a Gibson, then it would surely cost upwards of $2,700 or more.
It doesn't have back binding.
No back binding? You made a liar of me, Steve.
I actually thought this was a Firefly, but you are right. That does look like the Gibson logo hidden under there.
Well, it's got the Gibson headstock scroll, Steve. A Firefly doesn't do that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and Firefly also, I don't think I've ever seen the five ply binding from them. I mean, maybe it was made in the same factory. Also, the Firefly doesn't put on Grover tuners, whether these are true Grover tuners or knockoffs.
They're probably knockoffs.
I mean, the Bigsby is a knockoff, so anything's possible.
Do you think the pickups are knockoffs?
Look at how close these two knobs are down here. That does not look normal.
Well, it is Gibson quality control, so.
I'm sure if you looked at this thing close enough, there's all sorts of things that don't add up. But this, it's actually illegal to sell a counterfeit, correct?
That is my understanding. However, apparently it's not illegal to sell a guitar from LS Custom Shop.
And I think that's exactly what's going on here. This person bought the thing. It's not illegal to buy it from an importer. It's not illegal to buy it from AliExpress.
I'm actually not sure about that. It may be illegal because
it might be harder to catch you if you do it that way.
I've heard some people say at least that it's not just illegal to buy and sell these, it's also illegal to possess them. But I am not a lawyer.
This is nothing we say on this podcast. This is going to shock you guys. Is legal advice. This is a parody podcast. Everything is humor. Everything is just don't act on any of this information.
Well, I wouldn't say everything is humor. Sometimes
yeah, a lot of it is very not funny. Did I interrupt you?
I don't know.
I zoned out on our goal for a while there.
I'm not sure. What would you pay for this? Would you pay for this?
I probably would not pay for this personally. Just because, I mean, looking at the knobs, the way the knobs are close by, and looking at the cheap knockoff Bigsby, I really don't have a lot of hope that this is going to be decent. And honestly, I don't want the stress. I don't want the stress in my life of owning a counterfeit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
This is in Tampa, Florida. What I want to know is how many bottles of Robitussin does this guy want? Or this guitar.
So this is like my proposal of trading gear for a pizza and a bottle of brown liquor. You're asking like how much meth kit?
Yeah, basically. How many boxes of Sudafed?
Right. I don't know what the going rate is on those sorts of trades, Steve. So I'm not even prepared. I bet this is worth a good time, okay? Whatever the person's willing to offer, this is worth a single dose of good time. So
good grief.
Yeah, again, this podcast is not legal advice. It's humorous. It's off the cuff. Don't take anything we say seriously. Don't do drugs. Because as my friend Super Mario told me, when you do drugs, you're in hell before you die.
What?
And if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die.
That's You remember the old Super Mario cartoon?
Was that Captain Albano?
It's a quote. It's a quote from the live action Super Mario show. Like one of the like little things at the end. I saw it the other day on the internet. Remember, kids, your old pal Mario says, if you do drugs, you're in hell before you die.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was real heavy.
Well, I just thought, because I thought you were going to be like, well, you know, as my old pal Super Mario used to always tell me, wahoo!
Woohoo! It's me! But Mario did drugs all the time.
Right?
He's always like hitting those. I mean, like Mario is freaking like old school Liver King over here. Just jacking up his body, getting all big and swollen with those mushrooms and giving himself fire powers and stuff.
Yeah. He was just like, oh, that's a flower. I'll eat. That's a plant. I'll eat it. Oh, dang, I can shoot fireballs from my hand. Oh, that's a tree leaf. I'll eat it. Oh, shit, I got a raccoon tail.
I can fly.
Hell yeah. Jeez, Mario.
And the newer ones, he turns into a cat.
What does he have to eat to do that?
A bell? I don't know if he eats it. I think he just touches.
He just wears it.
You know how when you touch a bell, you turn into a cat? Mario is definitely on drugs. There's no part of Mario that doesn't say this is a drug trip.
I heard every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Well, every time Mario touches a bell, he turns into a cat. What is going on in this guitar podcast right now? It's because we don't interrupt each other anymore.
That's exactly why.
We've got good manners, and now we're just completely off the rails, like a crazy train. Similar to a crazy train. All right, $250. I can't tell anyone not to buy this as long as they never take that sticker off, because then they will risk breaking the law. LS Custom Shop is the manufacturer. Don't question it. That sticker looks legit. It looks like it has belonged on the guitar forever. It is definitely not a white piece of plastic that is poorly printed and then stuck onto a guitar headstock. $250, like, you know, there's all sorts of crap guitars you could get for $250. This is probably fine for $250.
This is probably one of them.
Yes.
You want to do some what's new?
Let's do what's
I'm
new.
really excited about this what's new.
Do you have something to show me? Oh, yeah. Steve went ahead and bought a mystery stocking for this show. He got his own personal Premier Guitar mystery stocking.
You guys hopefully saw my YouTube short. I edited it in iMovie, very professional.
I noticed that, Steve.
Because I had to get it. I had to get it under 1 minute, but I ordered this one for the show, and I think it's gonna be. Hold on. First of all, I want you to guess what you think it is.
It doesn't feel like your standard strap and strings and peg winder and Tommy Emmanuel CD, Steve. It feels like there's a single, like, brick-sized item in here. Let's find out what it is. I know, I'm cutting towards Steve. Don't interrupt me, Steve. I've got a blade.
I think that I think that this is a multi-effects pedal. That's what I think.
Oh my goodness, Steve. Do you want to guess again?
No. No whammies. Sticking with my guess.
It's an Ernie Ball VP Junior tuner! Oh! That's actually pretty cool.
I was wrong, though.
Sorry, Snowball Tone. We got the Ernie Ball. I wish they would make these smaller, is what I'd say.
Is there not a smaller one? This is the small one because it's the junior.
Yeah, this is the small one. I don't know if they make different sizes of the integrated tuner one. Well, Steve, since you bought it for the show, does it live here or does it go home with you?
I don't know.
You paid for it with your money or did you pay for it with Patreon money?
I paid for it with PayPal. But
did you invoice me?
I have not invoiced you yet.
Well, technically it's yours then.
I can invoice you.
I haven't owned a functioning VP Junior in a while.
Look at that digital screen.
Yeah, you can touch it. It's touch screen on a...
What?
Steve is excited.
The mask.
So what's the dollar value of this, Steve?
I have no idea.
Did we finally make up the lost value of all your gambling on the Premier Guitar mystery stocking?
Probably not.
Steve has gotten so many straps and packs of strings he never wanted. Ernie Ball, VP Junior Tuner. Let's see what comes up
I
here.
think they're like 150.
Sweetwater says 192 and 5 cents.
That's a weird number.
There's one on Guitar Center for 219 and 99 cents. I'm not seeing any cheaper than that. It's a $200 volume pedal, Steve, and we got it for what, 40 bucks?
$45. I don't think there were taxes.
Finally paid off. We finally got something worth keeping. Thank you, Premier Guitar.
It was probably rigged.
You think so? I mean, you did have it sent to the show, the UPS drop box.
Yeah, I put your name. I used the business email.
It is possible that they saw. Oh, look at this, Steve. There's a little snack hiding in here. It didn't even come from Sweetwater. There we go. Save that for later.
All right.
It is possible that the Premier Guitar, the Premier team, saw my name on there and was like, you know what, we're gonna get bad press if we send him. A Tommy Emmanuel CD.
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did either. I don't think anyone was paying that close attention.
But that's cool. We finally got. I mean, how many years have I know that I was looking through it the other day. I think you did a 2018 video. I did a 2019 video, and I think a 2020 video.
Every time I've done it, I've
maybe a 2021 video.
Completely disappointed. I'm not a gambler, and I don't enjoy gambling. I don't enjoy winning at gambling, let alone losing at gambling. So, but Steve does it every year, and
I do it every year.
I would say that I don't think it has paid off yet. You need to get like an amp or a guitar for it to actually pay off because you've gotten just junk year in and year out. I don't recommend it. I mean, if that's how you have your fun, go for it, I guess.
There was one, I will say, I think it was AMS, American Music Supply, Musical Supply, did a mystery, they call it mystery box. I did that one, and that one actually was, I think there might have been a Premier Guitar one where I won a DS1. So is that worth it? I don't know.
I don't know.
But the AMS one, I got a pair of like $80 headphones or something in it. Like that one actually, I think every box had at least like one big item in it. Like they were, because they were trying to like clearance, like stock. I think that's kind of the difference between a shop doing it. Someone said like, oh, well, someone left a comment today that I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like, you should be smarter than this. And then I'm like, I'm just having fun. Like, to me, it's fun.
What were you expecting? Blah, blah, blah. It's like
part of the fun of doing it is just to make the video every year. And I try to do YouTube short, and I try to slow it down at this part where I went like this.
Right.
But because YouTube Shorts, they take your vertical video and they crop it even narrower. You couldn't tell that I was shrugging my...
Next time, just send me your video, Steve, and I'll edit it.
I was sad. I just did it on my phone.
I know, just send me the video. I'll edit it and I'll publish it for you.
All right. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's whatever.
I've got the time. I'll do it.
Would it not crop the edges on the...
I would make sure it didn't.
Okay. There's a way to do that?
I'm using professional video editing software, Steve.
I mean, I could just download video editing software and go for it.
That's okay.
Apparently that's a thing. I've heard about.
Did your daughter tell you that?
No.
Dad, there's editing software. What? You watch your mouth.
I think she still uses Krita.
Krita?
Krita.
I don't know what that is.
It's like it's like Illustrator.
Okay.
But it's Krita.
So what next, Steve? Do I have anything new?
Do you have anything else? Is there anything else?
I don't know. I don't have anything new. It's Christmas week, guys. Hang out with your family. Drink some eggnog.
This episode is brought to you by Stringjoy. These strings are crafted in Nashville, Tennessee, and played on stages worldwide.
Whoa! Worldwide strings.
You can get some of these signatures. It's a 9 to 42 set, or you can go to stringjoy.com using the link below in our description so we can get a little cash.
You know
back.
what? Two people made purchases with our affiliate link down in the description this past week.
Mm-hmm.
Those are rookie numbers. Got to get those numbers up. I'm talking 3 or 4 a week. We get a couple of bucks each time you buy, make an order from Stringjoy. Try them out. I've been really enjoying them. I've been putting on all my guitars. I actually just ordered a couple sets of the coated, so I'm going to try those out very soon. But I've been enjoying the non-coated just fine. I get my twang where I want it. I get my deedly-deedlies from the lighter sets when I put them on the guitars that I want to deedly-deedly. I get the nice thump on the heavy sets when I put them on my surf guitars. They feel great. I've had no problems with them whatsoever, and I've been enjoying my Stringjoy experience. So
I just really like that we get the instant feedback every time somebody like buys a pack of strings. Like at the end of the day, I want you guys to support our sponsors. If we know about it or if we don't, it's whatever. The small cashback, super appreciate it.
Sure, of course.
That it's an affiliate but I more appreciate that it's an affiliate where we see the kickback right away. It's like, oh, someone just bought strings.
Right.
That's cool.
I kind of wish, even without money involved at all, I kind of wish we got a little email every time someone bought something that we talked about. Like whether we talked about it positively or negatively, like, oh, someone bought that? I remember talking about that. Like, that would be a fun little metric to have in our life. Oh man, someone bought that weird guitar we talked about. That'd be cool.
Oh, somebody bought that double cut Gibson.
Right, for $250
from Facebook Marketplace.
It's not a Gibson, Steve. It's an LS Custom.
No, you wrote Gibson.
Gypsum.
Oh, is it supposed to be Gypsum?
Yeah, Gypsum. Sorry.
Oh, that wasn't clear. Sorry. All right, this ad.
It's not an ad, Steve. It's a post on Reddit. My intention is not to make fun of this person's build, but there's a lot to talk about here.
Then I will not read it in the words that they wrote, but it says, over a year ago, I started this project where I converted an Ibanez TMB35 to a 7-string bass. To a 7-string bass 6. A bass 7, if you will.
It's a bass 7.
There's a lot of things I messed up and could have done differently, but I'll take this as a learning experience to put towards future projects and hopefully more normal builds. I just need to give it a setup and file down the nut slots more, tuned to BO standard or BEADGBE, an octave down. Was told to post this here. What group was this in?
This is in our offset on Reddit.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't look too great.
There's a lot of sketchy here.
You know what? Honestly, the picture of the body, where it's just the body, my first thought was like, that looks pretty good.
The strings line up. There's a little bit more room than you need above that low E string.
Yeah.
But the spacing looks right. And I bet with a little bit tighter tooling, I think this could look commercially perfect. Mm-hmm. We can see the open dowels in the headstock where tuners were swapped.
Yeah, the headstock's a little bit of a waking nightmare.
There's a bunch of blue tape around the bridge. I'm not sure what that's about. If something is being covered up or something is being held together, maybe.
Or if they just wanted to have a smiley face on their guitar. Duh.
Is that what that is? A smiley face?
Yeah, it's got 2 freaking eyes and a smile.
Well, maybe it's intentionally a smiley face, I suppose. Yeah, maybe that's all it is.
Maybe they were a big Beach Boys fan. They're going to play a lot of Beach Boys tunes with this, and they're referencing the Beach Boys album Smile. Smile, smiley, smile, whatever.
If Ibanez put this out as a commercial product, none of us would blink. Mm-hmm. As a 7-string on this body with, the correct tuners and things for it, no one would, be the wiser. It started out as a 5-string bass, correct?
I think it started out, as a 5-string bass.
Started out as a 5-string bass. Kind of a Talman-ish sort of concept here. I think he's on the right path. I think he set out to do something and he did it.
I think if there was an official Ibanez version of this, it would be like the signature model for one of the Korn guys, maybe Wes Borland.
I feel like there's got to be someone more contemporary than that. This would be for.
I'm 100% sure there is. I just think it's funnier if this was like the Kid Rock signature 7 bass 7.
Strangely, the thing that's hurting my eyes the most is that string tree. I can't think of how it would be done different because he needed to squeeze in that tuner right there. So it's like string guides were going to be necessary no matter what. But look at what's going on there. One of the strings is really being pulled to the side to get around that bass tuner. And then another string is floating over the tree to get to the next tuner, what would be the G string, I suppose. And then the next string is underneath that string tree to get to what would be the B string on a 6-string guitar. But this is 7, so none of what I'm saying makes any damn sense.
Okay, so this is what you're saying is it's grabbing the G string and it's grabbing the A string.
Right. Because the B string, the low B is the added string.
Yes.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
So to me, this is just
the string tree skips a string and one of the strings floats over the string tree.
To me, this is just bad design, bad planning.
Well, it's not much you could do without reshaping the headstock because that tuner's just not gonna. It would have to be on the tip of the headstock to go through straight.
Yeah. Literally, all you would need to do is put that tuner like another half an inch towards the end. Straight line that all the way down. It's already on a curve. Just curve it a little more. What difference does it make? And then
it's gonna look dumb no matter what. So might as well go all the way down.
Yeah, and then you don't need a string tree. A string tree that has a string that passes over it.
The string tree isn't there to hold the strings down, to hold tension on the nut. It's to guide the strings around the other tuners.
The string tree needs to guide the A string. The G string is fine. It's only going under the string tree because it's there. Because otherwise it would look dumb.
I think
dumber.
One of the big reasons I grabbed this is because his title is My First Offset.
Oh yeah.
And he published it on the R Offset subreddit. And it's like, wow, this is a wild way to post your first offset on an offset group. Like this is wild.
Is he just saying it's an offset because bass 6s are associated with offset guitars?
It's got an offset waist. Look at the body.
Right, but this was already his first offset before he converted
true.
it.
It was why didn't he post it before he did all this stuff? Oh man, he needed to show you do this sort of thing. You need to show someone. You're a dad, you get it. You know, like when you fix something around the house, like say like you replace a board in the fence, and you're like, family, gather around, witness what I have done. I have fixed a thing. He needs to show people what he's done, or it didn't happen.
That's true.
He needs us. Do you see? I have done this. Do you see? He needs to be seen because he put in a lot of work here. And I bet there were tears involved. I bet there were a lot of very frustrating moments in this conversion. And at one point he just accepted it for what it was turning out to be. And he was like, you know what? I'm doing it. I did it. It's done. I'm ready to show the world because blood, sweat, and tears went into this. And honestly, I salute you. You did it. You lived the dream. You put your mind towards something and you did it. Congratulations. We certainly see things on this show that are far less functional.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, this is like, I would say this is 85% of the way there.
Did he route out? He routed out for that humbucker.
Yeah. The humbucker was routed out for, I think. Oh, you know what? That's probably what that tape is the tape might be covering where the old bridge was.
Right.
You doweled the headstock, man. Why didn't you dowel that?
Well, it almost looks like there's a wire underneath there for the ground.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a grounding situation going on that he had to bring a wire around for because the bridge probably just went over where the ground wire comes out. So he had to tape it down and run it over to where there's ways he could have gone around it, but I imagine that's what's going on there.
And of course the ferrules, that's all.
I don't know if I spotted those.
Where the string, 'cause I don't know if this would originally be a string through body.
No, I don't think so. He did that himself, but we don't have a picture of the back to see what he did with the string ferrules. They do look a little bit wonky. They're
not quite even.
They're not quite even. But honestly, compared to that would be the last thing that caught my eye. The string, the low B not lining up with the neck catches my eye more. There's not a whole lot they could do about this, and I think they chose the right direction as far as having the high string line up with the edge of the fretboard correctly.
Yeah.
That was the correct decision. So, you know what? There was probably some skill involved there. There's not much they can do about the spacing of the bridge saddles. I don't know. This gets high marks for me. I think they did it. And he's not selling it, so there's no dollar amount for us to criticize.
Yeah. I mean, these are probably like a $300 base.
You know, we cover ads on this show. If you guys want to send us your home builds, your home modifications, and have us critique it, the email is 60cyclehumcast@gmail.com. Send us your home builds. We'll check them out.
What do we want that subject title to be?
Home build.
Rate my build.
Rate my stuff.
Bash my build.
Bash my build. Hashtag bash my build.
All right, let's do it. This last ad.
Maybe that'll be our new thing for 2023.
This last ad is a Univox. Some guy named Ryan found it.
That's me, Steve.
Oh, this is in the Sweetwater Gear Exchange. Item description. Up for sale is an opportunity for a super cool and unique project guitar, a 1970s Univox Custom. This thing is so vibey. I bought it with the intention of fixing it up, but with the holidays and some other projects, this needs to go, sadly. I've done some work primarily and just getting it cleaned up and ready for some other work. Here's what to know. 1970s Univox Custom, their take on the ES style guitar. Full hollow, bolt-on neck, 2 single coil pickups, tremolo tailpiece, floating bridge. Marks of the bridge position have been made prior to my own. That's pretty common with that style thing. This is $200 in Noonan, Georgia. It's pickup required. They will not ship it to you.
This is the sort of thing where if I saw it in a pawn shop, I'd probably spend an hour messing around with it, figuring out if it was worth buying. Because it looks freaking cool, and it's $200.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
This is no. I think I interrupted you.
You might have, but I'm going to defer to you, Steve.
This is probably a jangle machine.
Oh, totally.
This is for, if you want that. I don't know what sound you want. Scarborough Fair tone. I don't know.
No, this is gonna make you sound like the Hives. I don't know. It's gonna sound exactly like a Rickenbacker. Is that what you guys want to hear?
It's probably gonna make you sound like the Vines, actually.
Sure, the Vines or the Hives or the Strokes
or Jet.
It's actually probably gonna make you sound like
Interpol.
No, what's that other the other 2-piece rock band? It's not
the White Stripes.
Not the White Stripes.
Death from Above, 1979.
Isn't there black in their name?
Black Keys.
The Black Keys.
Black Crows.
But not the Black Crows, it's the Black Keys. This is gonna make you sound exactly like the Black Keys.
The Cure.
And it's got a trim on there. It just needs the arm. I don't know what arm you need to put on there to make it function. But I think that something that's really cool about this is that I think the top has been sanded off and refinished, because the back is that burst green to black, which I imagine the entire guitar used to be.
Oh.
So I think it's flaming. I think that's flaming on the top.
Yeah.
But it's pretty rough because the original finish was sanded off, and what you see was just a raw wood underneath. That's either flaming or it is just the marks of someone sanding, like belt sanding through plywood. Which also might be flamey too.
It looks really good.
It looks really, really cool. And I honestly can't believe it's only $200. It's on the Gear Exchange.
Yeah.
I want us to start looking at the Gear Exchange more. I think it's going to be a place that grows because there's honestly a huge selling point over there. And I'm not just saying that because I've worked with Sweetwater, we should be excited for the gear exchange and be working towards growing it, because if you take Sweetwater credit when you sell something there, no fees.
Are they still doing that?
Yeah, no fees, guys.
Okay, I thought that was over.
No, there's still, I think that's the forever plan. Like, if you've got something new you want to buy and you've got something old you want to sell, instead of selling it on Reverb and getting hit with all the fees, you know which fees I'm talking about. There's a dozen of them. You could go to Sweetwater's.
A dozen? I don't know if there's that.
Well, there's, it takes like a dozen%. It's really easy to lose your profit margin on Reverb and eBay and stuff like that. But if you are looking for sure to turn your used stuff into new stuff, I feel like people have got to get on the gear exchange.
You know, my great-great-grandfather, I saw this letter he wrote, and it was weird. He was talking about how he thought that eventually we would just have like synthetic dairy products.
Yes.
He was a profit margarine.
Oh my gosh.
This song was sent by Mervins. He says, "This is James." He says, "Good evening, gents." Don't know if we're gents. But he says, "This is James, bass player in Vox for Mervins and $1 Bud. Holla. We are a 3-piece rockin' in the San Francisco Bay Area." I think that's code for saying that he's homeless and shits on the sidewalk, right?
Whoa!
And also booed Elon Musk at the Dave Chappelle
That's
show.
exactly what happened. It was him and all him.
Here's a song off of our debut record. I don't know why I made a San Francisco joke. I like San Francisco.
I like the rice.
Rice-a-roni?
Yeah, it's the San Francisco treat, Steve. It's mostly pasta.
More of an Uncle Ben's guy myself. Oh, pastaroni is different than rice-a-roni.
No, rice-a-roni has a lot of pasta in it.
Does it really?
Yeah. It's not pure rice, Steve.
Oh. Shows what I know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Don't know anything about rice-a-roni, Steve.
Here, that's why it's, oh my God, that's why it's a rice-a-roni. What'd you think about buying a roni?
What is it like having a roni?
Here's a song off our, let's ask Cole Duke. Here's a song off our debut record, Out of Luck. The song is called Back on Track. Here's our link tree with all our good stuff. Love the pod, dudes. Got my gear flame relit a few years ago, and your podcast and a few others scratch that gear nerd itch in a major way.
Sorry.
Keep up the killer work. Here we go. Back on track. Oh, it's taking me to drive. Here we go.
Guys, send MP3s.
Well, this is an MP3 through
the drive. Okay.
link.
But don't send, guys, if you can avoid it, stop sending links to SoundCloud and stuff like that. Send MP3s. It's so much easier for us.
How'd
What'd you think of the song?
Oh, it was great. I love the guitar tones. I love the vibe of it. I love the groove of it.
I thought it was really fun to have that because we talked about Fountains of Wayne last week, and I got some big time
Totally.
90s power pop vibes
Yeah.
on that song.
Oh, I love it. That was great. I'm going to listen to it again because I'm going to edit the video and watch it and listen to it again. I'm going to watch the video published too. So I'm going to hear that song 3 times at least.
Dang.
I know, right?
Cool.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Stay grounded.